Good afternoon, Madison. How's everybody doing today, huh?
Yay, roller derby.
Welcome here. We got game 2 here at the Udder Chaos Invitational 2018. We are going to be seeing Minnesota men's roller derby Twin City Terrors taking on Wisconsin men's roller derby.
So this is day 2, bout 2. Wait, or is it 3? What day is it? What time is it?
Tuesday?
Sounds about right.
So I am Rich Mahogany.
I am Loose Change.
And we would like to introduce to you our teams for this game.
I'm going to go ahead and start because I'm the guest. And that's what you do for guests. You're nice to them. And you don't throw their cheese on the floor. So, skating for the Twin Cities Terrors in white. Wait, nope. We're in black, but it says that we're in white, so that's weird. We've got 00 Derby Monster, 003 Force Vector, 0405 Paul of Duty, number 2 Enigma, 27 York, 404 Fire Wally, number 42 Egon Strangler, 540 Merlin, 609 Beans, 75 Velocislaughter, and number 88 Nate's Gonna Nate.
And for a quick rundown of Wisconsin men's roller derby, we've got number 02 Arch Enema, number 1101 Shock and Austin, number 12 Roughhouse Wainwright, number 175 Monty, number 300 Humvee, number 33 Bloody Baron, number 337 Socially Hawkward, number 3715 All Beef Surprise, number 440 Ventura, number 556 Shenanigans, number 6 Roy Batty, number 65 Kingpin, number 6912 Nitrogen, number 8380 Hazel Raw, and number 94 Vagabond.
And while you were doing that, the jam started. Nate's Gonna Nate, lead jammer for the Twin Cities Terrors.
Bloody Baron jamming for Wisconsin, but going to be picking up a track cut penalty. That'll send him to the bear and bottle penalty box for 30 seconds to think about what he's done. In the meantime, Power Jam Minnesota. That's going to be a grand slam up for Nate's Gonna Nate.
Last weekend, the Terrors hosted a delightful little tournament called Rolling Along the River. Nate's Gonna Nate scored a 45-point jam.
Were those roller derby points?
Those were.
Oh boy.
That was a full 2 minutes, 45 points.
Wow. Wisconsin going to try to hold up Nate's Gonna Nate. Going to prevent that 45-point jam this time. Bloody Baron back on the track. Going to be working on that initial pass. Nate's Gonna Nate over the apex. That is a grand slam. One more up there for the Twin City Terrors. Bear forced to the outside, going to be recycled back by Derby Monster.
Nice hit there to the outside by Merlin.
And Nate going for another one of those Chaos Crew apex jumps. However, not going to land that one in bounds. Forced to recycle into the back of the pack. And our jam is just about through. That'll bring it to a close. And getting into the next jam, number 440 for Wisconsin men's roller derby in white, we got Bugman.
Going against number 44, Fire Wally.
I don't see him. I can't find him.
I know. You never really can. But there's a lot of 4s and a lot of 0s happening out there right now.
WMRD unable to find Fire Wally either as he is through to get lead jam. That is a grand slam as he comes around completing that first scoring pass. Twin City Terrors walls holding firm up at the front. Bugman still working on his initial.
Bugman clears his initial pass. Will be coming around to not score any points because the jam is called off.
Getting the next jam, Nitrogen wears the star for Wisconsin. Going up against Force Vector for the Twin Cities.
Paul of Duty reporting to that bear and bottle penalty box.
And up on the inside to take lead jam for the Twin City Terrors, it is Force Vector. Nick Shenanigans taking a seat in the bear and bottle penalty box for Wisconsin. The Twin City Terrors gets 0-0 Derby Monster in there. Got a little bit of power, bit of a party in that bear and bottle penalty box. They must be anticipating the after party tomorrow, which will be at Bear and Bottle up the street.
I thought they were cookies. Nader's gonna Nate on the line for the Terrors, going up against, that is Bloody Baron.
Bloody Baron taking a big hit from Beans, gonna force to the outside. Allowing Nader's gonna need to get lead jam, but Bloody Baron out of the pack, hot on his heels.
Fire Wally on the line for the Terrors, going up against, that is not Ventura, that is Bugman.
Bugman knocked to the outside and recycled the back of the pack by Egon Strangler. Both jammers still working on their initial pass as we round turn two. Bugman almost through, but forced to the inside.
So far, Terrors taking the dominant lead of lead jammer status every time, and then playing some good hit it and quit it roller derby. Picking up, getting lead, picking up points, calling it off before Wisconsin can answer with any points of their own, which is why with, 7 minutes in, we currently have 39-0.
And we will see lead jam going to Fire Wally in the Twin City Terrors. Bugman knocked to the inside, going to recycle back. Dealing with a very formidable wall of the Twin City Terrors as they take position at the front of the pack. Wisconsin will lose Kingpin to the box as Fire Wally is through for a grand slam.
Derby Monster giving Bugman the what have you. Force Vector on the line for the Terrors, through in lead jammer.
Diminished pack strength for Wisconsin to start out this jam, starting with 2 blockers in the box. And I believe there was a whistle just at the end of that last jam that will now make another Wisconsin skater reporting to the box. That's going to be Montezuma, number 175. Force Vector round and round, picking up grand slam there for the Twin City Terrors.
Force Vector, a new addition to the Terrors roster, transferred up from the Cornstalkers. And we're going to keep him. The Cornstalkers can't have him back.
Definitely seems to be doing good work for the Twin City Terrors. Now up at the front of the pack, only 2 Wisconsin blockers to beat. That is Nick Shenanigans and Kingpin. Very tough wall. Trust me, I have tried to get through it before, and it hurts.
Merlin getting up there trying to give Force Vector a little assistance.
Roy Batty stuck up at the back of the pack. Kingpin trying to give him a little bit of help, get him through. But the pack's really locking down between turns 1 and 2. Maybe they just want to say hi to the fans out there. Hi, fans. Welcome to Roller Derby. Force Vector through. That is another grand slam up for the Twin City Terrors as Roy Batty completes his initial pass. Velocity Slaughter trying to break up the Wisconsin wall as the jam ends. Getting to the next jam, we've got number 33 for Wisconsin Men's Roller Derby in white. That is Bloody Baron. Is going up against number 88 for the Twin City Terrors in black. That is the one and only that I've lost. Nader's gonna Nate. There he is. Through to take lead jam for the Twin City Terrors. Bloody Baron out of the pack, hot on his heels. Nice offensive hit there by York, breaking up the pack as the jam is called for Twin City.
And it's the battle of the fours yet again. Fire Wally up against Bugman.
These teams seem really happy with their jammer rotations so far, keeping our matchups, things we've seen before.
Yep. Bugman going to that inside line.
Very close call there by Bugman, getting out of the pack, but falling down to the inside. That'll get lead jam going to Fire Wally and the Twin City Terrors.
Now it is a matter of placement position, but Terrors call it 0 each. Force Vector and Nitro Gin.
Force Vector through the inside to take a quick lead jam.
Nitro Gin coming up against that wall of York, Merlin, Velocislaughter, and Enigma.
Force Vector with a nice hit on Nitro Gin, forcing him to the outside just as he gets through the pack, recycling him all the way back in. And then through again for 4 points.
Force Vector attempted that outside line and lost his balance, knocked himself out, had to recycle.
Nitrogen manages to dance up the inside line, completing his initial pass. Oh, Force Vector picks up a penalty. That's going to be Power Jam, Wisconsin.
Definitely what Wisconsin wants to see right now is that opportunity to put points on the board.
That Twin City Terror defense, though, absolutely tenacious. Even with the Wisconsin folks in there playing offense, they are just so good at coming back together. Giving Nitrogen a run for his money as the penalty kill is through. Force Vector back on the track.
So with no lead jammer, this will go the full 2 minutes. Terrors have been really focusing on staying together and keeping those walls. And as you can see, it's definitely working for them.
And we are back in the action as number 33, Bugman, jamming for the Wisconsin Men's Roller Derby. I'm sorry, that's Bloody Baron. I'm so good at this. Bloody Baron jamming for Wisconsin, going against number 88, Native's Gonna Nate for the Twin City Terrors. Their numbers just look so similar. 33, 88. Who's even skating out there? Oh, track cut penalty assessed against Native's Gonna Nate. Gonna leave Wisconsin with a power jam.
In that previous jam, my brain just stopped working. Nitrogen put 4 on the board for Wisconsin. Bloody Baron attempting to do that as well now again. Bloody Baron clears those final blockers of Egon Strangler and Paul of Duty and is your lead jammer.
Nader's gonna Nate back on the track. Penalty box empty. We've got 5-on-5 on the flat track. Of course, a forearm is then called upon Vega. And we have a star pass on the track. Number 42.
Egon Strangler.
Donning that star, activating his jammer powers, will force the call off by the Bloody Baron.
Fire Wally going up against Kingpin.
Fire Wally with a quick breakthrough, but gets a forearm on his way out of the pack. Another power jam going for Wisconsin Men's Roller Derby.
Kingpin is your lead jammer. Kingpin, who has his own sign even, says Kingpin will bowl you over. And I'm sure Kingpin is very excited to have an opportunity to live up to that sign.
Yeah, Kingpin, much less a pin, much more of a wrecking ball. Nice juke over the inside. That'll be a grand slam up for Wisconsin men's roller derby.
Kingpin just sort of bounces off that wall. That's York and Merlin, and that is not an easy wall to bounce off of.
Kingpin really picking up his momentum here, just carrying him through this wall as the penalty box begins to empty for the Twin City Terrors.
We do have a star pass. Merlin is now the jammer. Wisconsin picked up 17 points that time.
We would like to take a moment to thank one of the amazing sponsors here of Udder Chaos 2018, Forward Training, welcoming all levels, all bodies, and all humans. Join us for a grand opening this July and visit our booth today for more info, short demos, and to get signed up to move forward with us this summer. How do you move forward?
I like to move forward primarily by walking or in a car. Not sure, whistle.
Nope. No starting yet.
But
and
that's the whistle.
So that last jam, a big one for Wisconsin, picking up 18 points, holding the Twin City Terrors down to 0. Penalty box now empty going into this one. We got Roy Batty jamming for Wisconsin. He's through to take lead jam. Going up against Force Vector for the Twin City Terrors. Derby Monster for the Twin City Terrors will report to the Bear and Bottle penalty box.
Force Vector attempting to make his way through. Hit there to the outside is going to cause Roy Batty to reshuffle behind Egon Strangler.
Egon Strangler with the very loud blue and pink skates. I am loving it to bits over here. And he will get to take a look at those skates as he heads off to the penalty box. Roy Batty dancing through on the inside, picking up a grand slam. And folks, we've got a star pass. Derby Monster playing a bit of jammer-to-jammer defense. Nitro Gin jamming for Wisconsin in the white, going up against Nader's Gonna Nate for the Twin City Terrors. Nate pushing his way through the wall up at the front, gets lead jam for the Terrors. Nitrogen getting terrorized at the back of the pack. Is going to juke around the outside. Now only 2 blockers to beat at the front, but they hold long enough to bring up a third.
Terrors seem to be having just a little bit of penalty trouble. Kingpin going up against Fire Wally.
Kingpin through around the outside. Lead jam goes to Wisconsin men's roller derby. Fire Wally still working on that initial pass. Going to collide into the wall. Sneak through. That was so sneaky. I thought he was somebody else. Wally not found.
Derby Monster jamming for the first time today. Through on that outside line is your lead jammer for the Terrors.
Bloody Baron dancing through on the outside will complete his initial pass. Derby Monster forcing his way through on the inside, picks up all 4 points, calls off the jam. Kingpin going head-to-head with Nader's Gonna Nade as we take the line for Jam 15. Nate forced to the outside, going to be recycled back by Bugman, allowing Kingpin to break through, taking lead jam for Wisconsin.
Merlin assessed a penalty, going to visit that Baron bottle penalty box.
Wisconsin now beginning to stabilize hemorrhaging, or to start cutting off that bleeding that started at the beginning of the game. Now this 50-point differential kind of sticking around here, starting to get their lead. Jam is called by Kingpin, picking up 5 points. Like to quickly thank Ian's Pizza. They are a proud sponsor of the Mad Rollin' Dolls. Ian's Pizza has 2 downtown locations, 100 State Street next to the Capitol and 319 North Francis near the Kohl's Center. Both locations are open late. You can order online at www.ianspizza.com. Downtown delivery is available.
I hear that they have macaroni and cheese pizza, and I want that.
They have all of the most amazing pizzas, and I recommend you get them because your face needs them.
I want them.
My face also needs more roller derby. We're going to see Fire Wally wearing the star for the Twin City Terrors. And he is through to take lead jam. Kingpin starting this jam from the box for the Wisconsin men's roller derby.
And that's 5 in the sky for Fire Wally.
Oh, that lead jam was a lie. Fire Wally assessed a forearm penalty. Oh, we'll see if that forearm was assessed, is going to take effect before or after lead was assessed.
I'm not sure, but you want to know what else is a lie?
We'll find out. Lead was not a lie. Kingpin through the pack, but not your lead jammer, but on a power jam for Wisconsin.
The cake is a lie.
We've got a star pass on the track for Wisconsin. Hazel now donning the star, becoming the jammer of record.
Hazel getting some assistance there by number 12. That is Roughhouse Wainwright.
Oh, Firewally testing that inside line. Going to trip up over Kingpin as Hazel's through the pack, picking up 4 points for Wisconsin.
And that was 13 for the Terrors to 4 for Wisconsin.
We're just going to take a moment here for an official timeout.
So my theory is that official timeout was the officials deciding what kind of pizza they're going to get at Ian's.
I hope they get mac and cheese and share.
That would be great. You want to know what else is great? We've got Derby Monster going up against Roy Batty.
Derby Monster now bowling through Bugman, working his way up to the front of the pack. Wisconsin trying desperately to recycle, to rotate up together. He is forced to the outside, inside, outside, whichever side you please.
We had a really spread out pack there for just a quick second, and then they kind of just all togethered.
I felt the wind. That breeze was pretty intense. Through the fan blowing the opposite direction. It was powerful. We have a star pass, Bugman becoming the jammer of record for Wisconsin.
But Derby Monster is the lead jammer and picking up points. York letting the rest of his teammates know that he's needing some assistance there to keep Bugman.
Yeah, Wisconsin was doing a great job of kind of dragging the Terrors blockers to the inside, but at the last moment they got ahead of them, swapped back in, and said, "Hey, Bugman, you're going nowhere. Where are you going? Nowhere."
All that fast feet is good and useful.
Derby Monster making his way through the pack. That is going to be another grand slam. 15 points total for the Terrors this jam.
And it takes the Terrors over the century mark.
Bugman through the pack, taking a big hit from Beans. Beans will wind you.
That is 15 terrors, 17, and an official review being called.
So as we wind things down towards this half, definitely don't want to walk away from this jam. Likely will be the last jam of the half, but once the half ends, would encourage you to head over to the entrance. Check out the silent auction there. Got a lot of really cool stuff. Picked up some homemade things here from skaters and volunteers for Madison Roller Derby. Also have a few neat things like gift cards, other neat items from local Madison businesses.
So are you telling me that there is additional competition opportunities for people to engage in, not on the track?
That is correct. You don't even have to be a skater to be able to engage in this competition. Go and fight people with your money.
I really like that. What is my money gonna go to?
Well, the money, all the proceeds from that silent auction will be going to the Mad Rollin' Dolls Madison Roller Derby, finding a place to hang our skates. We are looking to build out a new venue here in Madison, Wisconsin, to have all kinds of amazing roller derby. It'll be there for us to practice for all of our teams. For the Madison Roller Derby, we've got Wisconsin Men's Roller Derby and our recreational league, the Madison Wreckers. All these teams looking for a home will be able to host tournaments. If you want to support your local Madison Roller Derby, the organizers of this tournament, go and support them by spending your money at the silent auction. So we are back into the action here. Official review has concluded. Whatever the Terrors were looking for, not going to get it as they did not retain their official review. Nader's going to Nate, jamming for the Terrors, going against the Bloody Baron for Wisconsin.
Yeah, so the Terrors requested a track cut be assessed to Wisconsin. The no call stands, and that is why the Wisconsin has their jammer on the track.
Well, and a good thing for them, too, as the Bloody Baron is your lead jammer. Working on scoring some points here as Nader's going to Nate laps for 4 points. They are also emerging victorious, 4 points on that pass. Arch Enema holding the outside line for Wisconsin. Going to force Nader's to the Nate to the outside, then recycled back by Humvee.
Nice little jump there that Nader's gonna Nate is well known for. He can get a lot of air.
Baron bottle penalty box empty and out. Oh, and loose, we've got a star pass happening for the Twin City Terrors. That's number 003, Force Vector, becoming the jammer of record for the Terrors. Bear pushing with all his might up at the front of the pack, dealing with all 4 blockers for the Terrors. Working on getting just those last points as the jam clock expires. Folks, that'll bring us to the half. Score, Twin City Terrors leading 114-118 to Wisconsin 62. We will be back in just about 15 minutes to get you the second half of this game. Go get yourself some concessions, buy some beverages, the proceeds of which will also go to support Madison Roller Derby. And please, please, please check out the silent auction. I would now love to turn things over to the one and only Lady Scratch. And we are just about back. We're going to get half two going on between Wisconsin men's roller derby and the Minnesota men's roller derby Twin City Terrors.
Woo!
Had quite a contest at the first half. Twin City Terrors leading 114-62. Saw a lot of trips to the bear and bottle penalty box, but not a lot of penalty trouble happening for these teams. Nobody with more than 3, and there are really only 3 skaters with 3.
I got really excited because I thought that was the whistle, but that's the not your whistle whistle.
That was the correct whistle. Nitrogen jamming for Wisconsin up the inside. Lead jam goes to Nitrogen. You know, a little fun fact about Nitrogen, his name used to be Diamond Gin the Rough, which I loved but nobody got. So he changed it. He changed it because you didn't clap loud enough.
Why are you yelling at me about it? I'm from Minnesota.
I'm yelling with you?
Okay.
So Nader's going to Nate jamming for the Twin City Terrors, still working on the initial Nitrogen, almost through the inside. Oh! Nice shoulder check to the inside by Beans for the Twin City Terrors, going to force Nitrogen all the way back into turn 2. That was one of the most graceful things I've seen. Nader's going to Nate doing a little bit of a swan move through the inside to complete that initial pass.
Fire Wally up against Roy Batty. Fire Wally is your lead jammer for the Terrors. Meanwhile, Roy Batty stuck against that wall of Enigma, Velocislaughter, and York.
Fire Wally juking by a hit by Hy-Vee will pick up that grand slam for the Twin City Terrors. Roy Batty still at the back of the back trying to juke by this wall, but the rotational tripod for the Terrors really being quite the terror for Roy Batty. Oh, forearm assist against Fire Wally will send him to the bear and bottle penalty box.
And York is going to go ahead and join him as well.
Oh, Roy Batty trying to stay in, dancing on that one toe stop, but is forced to the inside. Power jam now for Wisconsin as Roy Batty still working on that initial pass. No pass is called. He's pushed far enough. He is through. Now eligible to begin scoring points. It looked like Wisconsin had a nice window in the middle of the pack open for Roy, but then all of a sudden, nope, it's a terror.
Beans is really tall and surprisingly thin, which is really weird because he sort of disappears amongst people, and then he's just like, bam, there.
So what is he, like, two-dimensional? He just, like, turns sideways and goes, you can't see me.
Pretty much.
Penalty box empty as we get into this next jam. Derby Monster jamming up against Bloody Baron. Multiplayer block assessed against Twin City Terror skater number 540, Merlin. Sorry, Merlin, no amount of magic will get you out of that penalty box in fewer than 30 seconds. And Bear breaks through, taking lead jam for Wisconsin. However, hot on his heels, he's got a Derby monster following him.
And that is Nader's gonna Nate through for your lead jammer status, going up against Bugman. That was a fast jam. Force Vector going up against Nitrogen.
And we've got a lead jam going over to Twin City Terror's Force Vector. Jin trying to get through that wall, getting a little bit of help from his friends, now with only one blocker to beat, but around goes Force Vector, hopping around. 5-point grand slam. Jin with only number 42, Egon Strangler to beat, will get through completing the initial pass for Wisconsin.
We are starting this next jam. Fire Wally being assessed a track cut penalty, reporting to the Bear and Bottle. Meanwhile, Roy Batty being assessed a track cut penalty, reporting to the Bear and Bottle.
Cutting the track, apparently the chic thing to do down at Bear and Bottle. Don't worry, if you cut the track heading down to Bear and Bottle to pick up some drinks or some food, they won't send you to the penalty box.
Are we sure?
Can't stay in the Bear and Bottle penalty box too long. It is now empty. We got 5 on 5 on the flat track. As both of our jammers have headed to the box, we will not be seeing a lead jammer this jam. Fire Wally has completed his initial pass. Roy Batty working on his, almost through. Forced to the outside. Those beans being so tricky. Got Fire Wally through. That's a grand slam up for the Twin City Terrors. And we see a star pass for Wisconsin. Hazel donning the star, becoming the active jammer. That'll complete Wisconsin's initial pass. Shock and Austin recycling a Fire Wally all the way to the back.
Kingpin going up against Derby Monster. Terrors have a 2-pack at disadvantage as they've got 2 blockers in the box.
Oh! Bit of a ref skater tangle up. Hanging out in the danger zone. Don't call it the danger zone for nothing. It is a zone full of danger. Yeah, we're going to take a moment for an official timeout. We'll take a moment then to thank one of the other amazing sponsors here at Udder Chaos 2018, WORT. Got WORT 89.9 FM Community Radio. They are hosting their 21st annual block party this Sunday, May 20th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the 200 block of MLK Boulevard off the Capitol Square. The event is free and includes live music, food, and craft vendors. No crap on tap, beer, prize raffle, and kids craft area. Information at WRTFM.org or by phone at 608-256-2001. Back into the action, Force Vector finding the path of least resistance up towards the front of the pack, but then meets with resistance, gets around the resistance, and gets lead jam for the Terrors. Jamming for Wisconsin, we've got the Bloody Baron. Wisconsin starting with Bugman in the box, though, will be released post-haste. They're trying to get through that tripod at the front with a bit of help from Hazel, but once again, like the Twin City Terrors defense just so together and mobile in this game. Seem to just have an answer for every location the jammer ends up being.
So there's a sign over there that says "Bear will maul you," and I have to keep reminding myself that that person is cheering for the Bloody Baron because York used to be named Bear for the Terrors. So I'm always excited. I was like, York has some fans in the crowd.
I mean, we can cheer for both teams. I'm cheering for both teams. So with that official review, Wisconsin was looking for a low block penalty to be called against the Twin City Jammer Force Vector. After review, the call continues to stand. Lost for official review for Wisconsin. But getting back into this jam, Nitrogen is your lead jammer for Wisconsin Men's Roller Derby. Fire Wally jamming for the Twin City Terrors, now completing his initial pass. Oh, not completing it. Forced to the outside, going to recycle back behind Shenanigans. Nitrogen finding himself in a similar spot at the back of the pack, crashing into the Terrors wall. Will get some gaps in those seams, breaks through on the inside. But, oh, a penalty assessed. That'll send Jin to the box. Power jam Fire Wally and the Twin City Terrors. Fire Wally round for a grand slam. Teammates giving him a wide berth as he enters turn one, crashing into the Wisconsin wall. And then all of a sudden, there are the rest of the Terrors. It's a big group hug around turn three. That's turn two. They're getting to turn three. Fire Wally with only one blocker to beat, but that is a firm blocker. Shenanigans holds him as Nitrogen is around for a grand slam, Wisconsin. Nitrogen picking up the pace as the jam is called, gets a penalty at the end. So I apologize. I lied egregiously to you at the end of that jam. It was not Nitrogen that had the penalty. It was Nader's gonna Nate. Out to take lead jam for Wisconsin. You got Roy Batty. Derby Monster number 00 jamming for the Twin City Terrors in black. Working on pushing his way through around the turn 1-2 apex. Will complete that initial pass. Roy Batty getting a bit of a hit pug and then a shoulder check from number 27, York. 27 picking up a penalty for that as the jam is called.
Force Vector on the line.
Forearm penalty being assessed against number 42, Egon Strangler for the Twin City Terrors.
That puts Egon with 6 penalties.
And we've got lead jam being assessed to Force Vector. Bugman also out of the pack, looking to close the gap as the pack comes around to turn 3.
Nader's gonna Nate going up against Kingpin. Nader's gonna Nate through, and your lead jammer, Kingpin, not too far behind. And it is turning into a foot race. Nate picks up 4 and calls it.
Getting into this next jam, Derby Monster wearing the star for the Twin City Terrors in the black. Nitro Gin jamming for Wisconsin in white. Both teams, two blockers out to the box for Wisconsin. Nitro Gin through to take lead jam.
2 blockers for Wisconsin, 2 blockers for Minnesota.
Nitrogen through for a grand slam. Derby Monster hot on his heels as there are only 2 blockers on the track for Wisconsin. A single blocker for the Terrors. Very small pack over there, Luce. Small but intimate.
That's a good descriptor.
And a quick shout out as this jam ends to LSM Chiropractic. They've got 16 locations in and around the Madison area and accept most insurances. Dr. Quall and her colleagues consider service to the community one of their most fun and rewarding commitments. Banner ads for days.
Fire Wally on the line, going up against Kingpin. Kingpin finds that inside line is through, and your lead jammer.
Hazel going to be heading to the box for Wisconsin. Both teams now down a blocker. Nice juke to the outside by Kingpin. Going to call off the jam, but that's 4 points.
Force Vector going up against Roy Batty with just under 10 minutes remaining. Hop, skip, and a jump over that apex. Force Vector is your lead jammer.
Roy Batty getting to the front of the pack, but the line held by number 27, York. Oh, and between York and Merlin, they will draw that track cut penalty on Roy Batty, sending him off to the Baron Bottle penalty box. Unfortunately, this particular Baron Bottle will not be serving drinks. You'll need to head down to the Baron Bottle just up the street to get drinks there. Also the location of our Sunday after party. Low block being assessed against Beans for Twin City Terrors as the jam comes to its conclusion. And we are back in the action. Roy Batty starting from the penalty box. We've got a power jam Derby Monster in the Twin City Terrors. Derby Monster taking a quick lead jam as Roy Batty is released from the box. Roy.
Terrors lose Enigma to that bear and bottle penalty box.
That song, a very special present from Lady Scratch right over to Derby Monster. As we get back into the action here, Nitro Gin, where's the star for Wisconsin in white, going up against Fire Wally for the Twin City Terrors in black. Gin up at the front, just one blocker to beat, down to the ground, gets through, takes lead jam for Wisconsin. Out of play penalty assessed against, believe that is Beans. Yeah, it's Beans.
His two-dimensionalness didn't help him at that point.
I was looking at him at the wrong angle.
Yep.
Couldn't see him. Couldn't see him. I always carry a pocket full of...
Bugman on the line for Wisconsin, going up against Force Vector for Minnesota. Bugman being assessed a penalty, reporting to that bear and bottle penalty box. That's a track cut for Bugman. Meanwhile, Force Vector is your lead jammer.
Force Vector with 3 blockers to beat that tripod at the front for Wisconsin. As they are torn asunder, unable to stay together. You got 5-point grand slam up for Force Vector. Force Vector calling off the jam just in time to ice Bugman in the box.
Nader's gonna Nate jamming for the Terrors. Derby Monster attempting to distract some of the other skaters by rubbing his belly.
Ooh, Nate out of the pack first, but getting a high block on his way. Bugman is assessed your lead jammer. That clearly that penalty happening before Nate got out of the pack. Bugman quickly through the pack, picks up a grand slam for Wisconsin. Bugman cutting from the inside right to the out. However, the Terrors are now wise to his shenanigans, ready to catch him at the front of the pack. Get a little bit of help there from the Wisconsin blockers, tearing the Terrors wall apart. Bugman with one to beat will get through. That is a grand slam, Wisconsin. Nader's going to assess another forearm penalty shortly out of the box. Will send him back into the beer and bottle penalty box. Meantime, Bugman getting a track cut himself will go off to the penalty box. So once he takes a seat, we'll have a little bit of a jammer do-si-do, getting Nader's gonna Nate back into the action.
Enigma going to the bear and bottle penalty box for a multiplayer. All sorts of ins and outs of that penalty box going on.
There may be a little bit of confusion that is the actual bear and bottle, or that bear and bottle is staffing it with delicious food and beverage. But no, again, you got to go up the street for that. This one's just for when you've been bad. So Twin Cities Terrors looking for an in-sub call against White Jammer 440 Bugman. However, the call will remain as uncalled. Twin Cities Terrors lose their official review. Getting into this next jam, Firewally is your lead jammer for the Twin City Terrors. Going up against Kingpin for Wisconsin. Around through the inside. That's going to be a grand slam for Firewally as Kingpin breaks free of the pack. Wisconsin braces to accept Firewally. He'll bump through on the inside, calling off the jam.
jamming. We've got number 33. That is Bloody Baron for Wisconsin. And Force Vector for the Twin Cities Terrors. Force Vector is through, and your lead jammer. With less than 1 minute remaining on the period clock, this might be our final jam.
Force Vector going to get through, picks up that Grand Slam coming around turn 3.
With that Grand Slam, Terrors take that second century mark.
Oh, we got that Star Pass shenanigans now donning it, becoming the active jammer for Wisconsin. Force Vector through for 5 more points for the Terrors. Force jukes to the outside. Now going to have to deal with Arch Enema, Shock and Awesome, and Socially Awkward. He will weave through that pack. That's 5 more points up for the Terrors.
The period clock has ended, but this will run potentially the full 2 minutes unless Force Vector calls it off.
You must have some sort of divine premonition as that jam is called. That'll bring us to the end of the game, folks. Great game here between Wisconsin and Minnesota, but Minnesota's Twin City Terrors will emerge victorious. And give it up for your Wisconsin Men's Roller Derby!